Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze. Breezeway Productions The Breeze. We bring you the latest in independent films and film festival news, and we continue our coverage of the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival happening in Los Angeles right now. And we have filmmaker Set Hernandez here with us today to talk about his film Unseen. How are you, Set?
Thanks so much, Alex, for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Right on. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. Tell me about your film Unseen.
Unseen follows the story of Pedro, who is a social worker, while also navigating the uncertainties of life as a undocumented immigrant who also happens to be blind. And because the film, really seeks to be accessible for blind and low vision audiences, stylistically, a lot of the film also is blurry to invite audiences to watch the film by listening.
So did you have more of an emphasis on the audio aspect of the film since you said that some of it was blurry, or did you have like a specific mix to really tell your story?
Yeah, so from the get-go, the idea for the film was to make it accessible for Pedro, and Pedro
Mhm.
himself is blind. So how do you make a film that's so much about visuals is such a big part of film? How do you make a film that leans less on the visuals, but rather more on the sound? So since the beginning, I really like talking about the film as an audio-based film where
Oh,
we relay a lot of information through sound. And I think from the beginning also this was a conversation that Pedro and I have had. So the film, while it does have a lot of blurry footage, it also goes in focus every now and again because interestingly in the course of the edit we realized that the blurry cinematography kind of lends itself to the themes of the film also.
interesting. Tell me how you formed your connection with the subject of your film.
So Pedro and I myself am also undocumented, just like Pedro. So when Pedro and I met, we were part of a program for undocumented individuals. Pedro was part of a professional development program for undocumented young adults that I was helping to run. And around that time, Pedro was doing some travels and I would help coordinate with him. And that's pretty much how our friendship began, but it wasn't until like a year later when we started filming for the project.
Interesting. So tell me a little bit more about like the journey of this film. Have you showcased this to the audiences that are visually impaired or in that regard? Has this gone through any of that circuit? Have you worked with any organizations in collaboration with this film?
Yes, that's a great question, Alex. So accessibility is a big part of our ethos for the film. Aside from the film itself, there's also audio descriptions, for the film. For folks that might not be familiar with audio descriptions, if you watch Netflix or Hulu or any streaming platform, you'll be able to select options for audio description so that if you are blind or low vision, you can watch the film with this audio track that allows you to hear descriptions of what's being visually presented in the film during the pauses in between dialogue. So all
Interesting.
screenings of Unseen have audio descriptions available in the theater through headsets. And also when we participate in film festivals and they allow us to screen, through their virtual platforms, we also have the audio description track available. All this to say that in the course of making this film, it took 7 years to bring this project to life, and I think
Wow.
I
Yeah.
think like a lot of it, was really difficult, but also I think the film took the time it needed to come out into the world. And in the course of the last couple of years, especially as we've reached picture lock, fine cut for the film, we would be having screenings of the film with different audiences, particularly community members, from
Mhm.
Pedro's life who show up in the film, some of whom are
Yeah.
blind, and also our filmmaking team comprised of people whose identities and experiences reflect Pedro. That includes working with filmmakers who also are blind and low vision. So for the film, we really wanted to make sure that we have a strong sense of grounded in reality of how do people experience this film, regardless of their identity. So through the course of the last couple of years, yes, we've definitely had a lot of different screenings for different communities.
Wonderful. I'm glad that it's getting out there and it's being seen by audiences, and it is going to be seen by another audience as well at the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. When and where will you be screening this film?
Yeah, so we had our world premiere at the Hot Docs Canadian International Documentary Film Festival in Toronto on Wednesday, May 3rd, and
Nice.
tomorrow on Saturday, May 6th. I'm getting my dates all correct. Tomorrow we're screening both, actually having a second screening in Toronto, and we're also screening at the LA Asian Pacific Film Festival here in LA. From there, on May 14th, we're going to be having our Northern California premiere at the CamFest by the Center for Asian American Media. And then
Nice.
we'll be having more, we're waiting for more film festivals. But actually, aside from that, it was just announced yesterday that Unseen is included in the 36th season of the PBS documentary series POV. So
Nice.
early next year, we will be having our US broadcast premiere and hopefully reaching the audiences that we hope to reach.
Well, that is a journey. You have quite a road ahead of you. It's great. It's great. I love seeing that things are continuing to move. It's like you're seeing things in motion. You're here and you're there, and then people are seeing it. You're going all over with it. It's being broadcast on PBS, so congratulations for that.
Thank you so
And I'm
much.
glad that it's getting such a positive response. And we hope that our audiences are able to check out Unseen. Where can they go to find out more about it, like a website or social or anything like that?
You got that, Alex. So folks
Yeah.
can follow our website at unseen-film.com. They can also follow us on social media at Watch Unseen Film. And actually, the film is very bilingual. It's both in Spanish and English. So you can also, if you're Spanish speaking, you can find our film's website at loquenoseve.com. So, we really want to make sure to be as accessible as possible. And please do follow us, sign up for our newsletter so that you can keep posted about our upcoming screenings this summer, the fall, and the rest of the year.
Right on. Well, we will put out the good word for that. And I wish you luck with the rest of the journey with Unseen and on your screenings for the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. And I want to thank you, Set Hernandez, for taking the time to speak with me today on The Breeze.
Thanks for having me, Alex. Appreciate it.
You got it.